mistake. The Great Hall of the Zalthari Council was silent. 7 alien commanders sat around the glowing table. Their scales reflected the blue light from the holographic display floating above them. Commander Vexthor raised his clawed hand. The display changed. Now it showed a small blue planet, Earth. "This is the human homeworld," Vexthor said. His voice was cold. "They sent us another peace message today." The other commanders laughed. The sound echoed through the hall like broken glass. "Peace?" Commander Zara hissed. "These weak creatures dare to speak of peace?" She pressed a button. The hologram zoomed in. It showed humans walking in their cities, working, playing, living normal lives. "Look at them," another commander said. "No claws, no armor, no fangs. They are soft, weak, pathetic." Vexthor nodded slowly. "The humans have only existed in space for 200 years. We have ruled the stars for 10,000 years. They are children playing with toys. Then why do we talk about them?" Zara asked. Vexthor's eyes turned dark. "Because these children are spreading too fast. They make friends with other species. They trade. They help others. Some species actually like them." The hall went quiet. This was the real problem. "If we let them grow stronger," Vexthor continued, "they might challenge us one day. We must stop them now, while they are still weak. What do you suggest?" an old commander asked. Vexthor smiled. It was not a kind smile. "We send them a message written in fire and blood. We destroy one of their colonies. Show them their place in the galaxy. Just one?" Zara asked. She sounded disappointed. "One will be enough," Vexthor said. "They will see our power. They will beg for mercy. Then we will make them our servants. They will work for us forever." The council voted. All 7 hands rose. The decision was made. 3 days later, the Zalthari fleet arrived at New Hope Colony. It was a small human settlement on the edge of space. 50,000 people lived there. Farmers, teachers, children. Families who just wanted a peaceful life among the stars. They never saw it coming. The Zalthari ships dropped out of hyperspace at dawn. Their weapons were already charged, already aimed. In the colony, a little girl named Emma was eating breakfast. Her mother was making pancakes. Her father was reading the news. It was a normal morning, a happy morning. Then the sky turned red. The first missile hit the main dome. The explosion was massive. Buildings collapsed like toys. Fire swept through the streets. Emma's mother grabbed her. "Run!" she screamed, but there was nowhere to run. The second wave of missiles came. Then the third, then the fourth. In 6 minutes, New Hope Colony was gone. Erased. Nothing left but fire and broken dreams. 50,000 people. Dead. The Zalthari fleet didn't stay. They jumped back to hyperspace. Their mission was complete. Commander Vexthor watched the recordings of the attack. He nodded, satisfied. "Send the message to Earth," he ordered. The message was simple and cruel. "You are weak. We are strong. Surrender now, or more colonies will burn. You have one Earth week to decide. Choose wisely, humans." Vexthor turned off the screen. He poured himself a drink. "This is the easiest conquest we have ever had," he told Zara. But on Earth, something was happening. Something the Zalthari didn't understand. In the military command center, alarms were screaming. Screens showed the destruction of New Hope. Every human leader watched in horror. Admiral James Marcus stood frozen. He had family on New Hope, his sister, her 2 children, gone. Around him, officers were crying, shouting. Some sat in shock, unable to process what they had seen. The President of Earth appeared on the main screen. Her face was pale, her hands were shaking, but her voice was steady. "They killed our children," she said quietly. "They burned our innocent. They think we will beg. They think we will surrender." She paused. Her eyes grew hard as steel. "They don't know us at all." Admiral Marcus felt something cold settle in his chest. Not fear, something else. Something the Zalthari had never truly understood about humans. Rage, pure, focused, unstoppable rage. "Admiral Marcus," the President said, "activate Protocol Omega. Gather every ship, every weapon, every soldier." "Yes, Madam President," Marcus replied. His voice was calm. "Too calm, an Admiral," the President added. "Show them what happens when you hurt humanity's children." Marcus looked at the tactical display. It showed the location of the Zalthari homeworld. He began calculating jump coordinates. Around Earth, military bases came alive. Lights blazed in the darkness. Ships lifted off by the hundreds. Weapon systems activated. Soldiers boarded transports. The Zalthari had made their choice. Now humanity would make theirs. In his office, Admiral Marcus recorded one message. He sent it to every human ship, every station, every colony. The message had only 5 words. They wanted war. We respond. Across human space, the response was immediate. Volunteers flooded recruitment centers. Engineers worked around the clock, building more ships. Scientists shared their secret weapons. The Zalthari thought they had crushed humanity's spirit. Instead, they had awakened something far more dangerous. They had given humanity a reason to fight. In the Zalthari Council Hall, Vexthor was celebrating. He didn't know that in 72 hours, human ships would appear in his sky. He didn't know that humanity had a saying, "We don't start fights, but we finish them." He would learn soon enough. The fleet was ready. 500 human warships, thousands of fighters, tens of thousands of soldiers who had just watched their families die. Admiral Marcus stood on the bridge of the flagship, Vengeance. That name was chosen carefully. "All ships report ready, sir," his first officer said. Marcus stared at the stars. Somewhere out there, the Zalthari were laughing, celebrating their easy victory. Jump coordinates locked on Zalthari space, the navigator reported. Marcus took a deep breath. He thought of his sister, of little Emma eating pancakes, of 50,000 lives stolen in 6 minutes. "Execute jump," he ordered. "And may God have mercy on them, because we won't." The fleet disappeared into hyperspace. Behind them, Earth watched and waited. The Zalthari had made one mistake. They thought humans would break. They were about to learn the truth. Humans don't break. They burn. The awakening. The alarms screamed across the Zalthari homeworld. Commander Vexthor jumped from his seat. His drink spilled across the floor. "What is happening?" he shouted. A young officer ran into the room. His face was full of fear. "Sir, ships. Hundreds of ships just appeared in our space." "What ships?" Vexthor demanded. "Whose fleet?" The officer's voice shook. "Human ships, sir. 500 of them. Maybe more." Vexthor froze. "That was impossible. Completely impossible. Humans," he whispered. "But we destroyed their colony 3 days ago." 3 days? How did they get here so fast? No one had an answer. Zara rushed to the tactical display. Her claws clicked nervously on the controls. The screen showed the human fleet. It was massive, bigger than anything the Zalthari had expected. "They should be crying," Zara said. "They should be begging for mercy. Why are they here? Why are they attacking?" Vexthor felt something he had not felt in years. Fear. On the bridge of the Vengeance, Admiral Marcus stood calm and still. Around him, officers worked at their stations. The atmosphere was cold, professional, deadly. "Open a channel," Marcus ordered. "Broadcast to all Zalthari worlds. I want everyone to hear this." "Channel open, sir," the communications officer said. Marcus stepped forward. His voice was quiet, but it carried the weight of 50,000 dead. "People of the Zalthari Empire, this is Admiral James Marcus of the Human Defense Fleet. 3 days ago, you attacked New Hope Colony. You killed 50,000 innocent people, children, families, people who never hurt anyone." He paused. Let the words sink in. "You thought we would surrender. You thought we would beg. You were wrong. You wanted war. Now you will face the consequences. This is not a battle. This is judgment." Across Zalthari space, billions watched in shock. They had never heard such cold determination in any voice before. "All ships," Marcus said to his fleet, "begin attack. Show no mercy to military targets. Protect all civilians. Remember New Hope. Remember New Hope," every captain repeated. The human fleet moved forward like a wave of steel and fire. The Zalthari defense fleet scrambled to respond. 200 warships moved to intercept. Their commander was confident. They outnumbered the humans in this sector. "Foolish humans," the Zalthari fleet commander said. "They fight with emotion. We will crush them easily." The 2 fleets met in the space between planets. The battle began, and the Zalthari learned their first lesson about humanity. Humans fight differently. The Zalthari used careful tactics. They protected their ships. They retreated when damaged. They valued survival. Humans did not. The The destroyer Righteous Fury took heavy damage in the first exchange. Fire burned through 3 decks. The Captain Helen Rodriguez got the evacuation order. "Captain, we must abandon ship," her first officer shouted. Rodriguez looked at the Zalthari flagship ahead. It was huge, powerful, the command ship of the entire defense fleet. She made her choice. "Negative," she said calmly. "All crew to escape pods. Launch immediately." "That's an order." "Captain, what are you doing?" Rodriguez smiled sadly. "Finishing the mission. Go. Now." The crew evacuated. Rodriguez stayed on the bridge alone. She locked the controls, aimed the Righteous Fury directly at the Zalthari flagship. "For New Hope," she whispered. "For Emma and all the children." The awakening, the alarm screamed across the Zalthari homeworld. Commander Vexthor jumped from his seat. His drink spilled across the floor. "What is happening?" he shouted. A young officer ran into the room. His face was full of fear. "Sir, ships! Hundreds of ships just appeared in our space." "What ships?" Vexthor demanded. "Whose fleet?" The officer's voice shook. "Human ships, sir. 500 of them. Maybe more." Vexthor froze. "That was impossible. Completely impossible. Humans," he whispered. "But we destroyed their colony 3 days ago." 3 days? How did they get here so fast? No one had an answer. Zara rushed to the tactical display. Her claws clicked nervously on the controls. The screen showed the human fleet. It was massive, bigger than anything the Zalthari had expected. "They should be crying," Zara said. "They should be begging for mercy. Why are they here? Why are they attacking?" Vexthor felt something he had not felt in years. Fear. On the bridge of the Vengeance, Admiral Marcus stood calm and still. Around him, officers worked at their stations. The atmosphere was cold, professional, deadly. "Open a channel," Marcus ordered. "Broadcast to all Zalthari worlds. I want everyone to hear this." "Channel open, sir," the communications officer said. Marcus stepped forward. His voice was quiet, but it carried the weight of 50,000 dead. "People of the Zalthari Empire, this is Admiral James Marcus of the Human Defense Fleet. 3 days ago you attacked New Hope Colony. You killed 50,000 innocent people, children, families, people who never hurt anyone." He paused. Let the words sink in. "You thought we would surrender. You thought we would beg. You were wrong. You wanted war. Now you will face the consequences. This is not a battle. This is judgment." Across Zalthari space, billions watched in shock. They had never heard such cold determination in any voice before. "All ships," Marcus said to his fleet. "Begin attack. Show no mercy to military targets. Protect all civilians. Remember New Hope." "Remember New Hope," every captain repeated. The human fleet moved forward like a wave of steel and fire. The Zalthari defense fleet scrambled to respond. 200 warships moved to intercept. Their commander was confident. They outnumbered the humans in this sector. "Foolish humans," the Zalthari fleet commander said. "They fight with emotion. We will crush them easily." The 2 fleets met in the space between planets. The battle began, and the Zalthari learned their first lesson about humanity. Humans fight differently. The Zalthari used careful tactics. They protected their ships. They retreated when damaged. They valued survival. Humans did not. The destroyer Righteous Fury took heavy damage in the first exchange. Fire burned through 3 decks. The Captain Helen Rodriguez got the evacuation order. "Captain, we must abandon ship," her first officer shouted. Rodriguez looked at the Zalthari flagship ahead. It was huge, powerful, the command ship of the entire defense fleet. She made her choice. "Negative," she said calmly. "All crew to escape pods. Launch immediately." "That's an order." "Captain, what are you doing?" Rodriguez smiled sadly. "Finishing the mission. Go. Now." The crew evacuated. Rodriguez stayed on the bridge alone. She locked the controls, aimed the Righteous Fury directly at the Zalthari flagship. "For New Hope," she whispered. "For Emma and all the children." She pushed the engines to maximum. The damaged ship screamed forward. On the Zalthari flagship, Commander Thexal saw the human ship coming. "Shoot it down!" he screamed. "Kill it!" Weapons fired. They hit the Righteous Fury again and again, but the ship kept coming. Thexal finally understood. His eyes went wide with horror. "They're insane," he whispered. "The humans are insane." The righteous fury struck the flagship at full speed. The explosion was massive, blinding, beautiful, and terrible. Both ships were destroyed instantly. Captain Rodriguez died, but she took 800 Zalthari officers with her, including their fleet commander. The Zalthari defense fleet fell into chaos. Their leader was gone. Their flagship was destroyed. And the humans kept coming. They don't fear death. A Zalthari pilot screamed over the radio. What kind of species doesn't fear death? The answer came from another human ship. The cruiser Unbroken. Its captain spoke on an open channel. "We fear death," Captain Liu said. "But we fear losing our humanity more. You killed our children. Now face parents who have nothing left to lose." The human fleet pushed forward. They lost ships, good people. But they never stopped, never slowed, never retreated. The Zalthari defense line broke. Within 2 hours, the human fleet had destroyed half the Zalthari military ships. The rest scattered, ran, abandoned their posts. Admiral Marcus watched from the Vengeance. His face showed no emotion, no joy, no satisfaction, just cold determination. "Sir, we've captured Zalthari military base Omega," an officer reported. "Marines are securing the facility now." "Any casualties?" Marcus asked. 30 wounded. 5 dead, sir." Marcus closed his eyes briefly. 5 more names for the memorial wall. "What did we find in the base?" he asked. The officer's face went pale. "Sir, you need to see this yourself." 10 minutes later, Marcus stood in the captured base. A young lieutenant showed him the recovered files. "Admiral, these are Zalthari strategic plans," the lieutenant said. "They weren't just going to make us surrender." "What do you mean?" Marcus asked. The lieutenant pulled up document after document. Invasion plans, slavery protocols, genetic modification programs. They plan to enslave all of humanity, sir. Every human, forever. New Hope was just the first step. They were going to attack Earth next week, kill half our population, turn the rest into workers. They had it all planned out. Marcus read the documents. His hands began to shake. Not from fear, from rage. The Zalthari hadn't just attacked one colony. They had planned genocide, the complete destruction of human freedom. Marcus walked to the communication station. His officers watched him carefully. They knew that look. The fire the galaxy was watching. On 1,000 different worlds, 1 billion screens showed the same thing. Human warships unleashing hell on the Zalthari Empire. In the Galactic Council chamber, representatives from 50 species sat in stunned silence. They watched the feed from Zalthari space. Ambassador Krell of the Vortan species spoke first. His voice was shaking. This is total war. The humans are destroying everything." "Not everything," Ambassador Sia of the peaceful Lumina corrected. She pointed at the tactical display. "Look carefully. They're only hitting military targets. No civilian cities, no residential areas, only bases, weapons, warships. But the destruction," Krell whispered. "It's so complete, so thorough." On the screen, another Zalthari military station exploded. The fire bloomed against the black of space like a deadly flower. Elder Thorn, the oldest member of the council, watched with sad eyes. "The humans are showing us something," he said quietly. "They can be merciful, but they choose not to be. Not now, not after what happened." In Zalthari space, the Hellfire Protocol continued. The human fleet moved from target to target like a machine, efficient, relentless, unstoppable. Zalthari military base. 7 received the warning. Human ships approaching. 3 minutes to weapons range. The base commander, Officer Nalex, sent desperate messages on all frequencies. "Please, we surrender. Don't fire. We have families." The human response came from the destroyer Morning Star. "You have 2 minutes to evacuate all personnel," the human captain said. "After that, we destroy the base. This is your only warning." Nalex couldn't believe it. You're letting us leave?" "We're not monsters," the captain replied. "We don't kill unless we must. But your base will be destroyed. Move, now." Nalex ordered immediate evacuation. Shuttles launched frantically. Zalthari officers and soldiers fled in panic. Exactly 2 minutes later, the base was empty. The Morning Star fired. The base exploded into debris, but every Zalthari on those shuttles lived. This pattern repeated across the Empire. Humans gave warnings. "Let people evacuate. then destroyed the military infrastructure completely. On the Vengeance, Admiral Marcus watched the progress reports. His first officer, Commander Park, stood beside him. "Sir, we've destroyed 70% of their military capability," Park reported. "The Zalthari fleet is scattered. Many are hiding. Some are surrendering. Casualties?" Marcus asked. "On our side, 43 ships damaged, 12 destroyed. On their side, their military is finished, sir. But civilian casualties are minimal. Your evacuation protocol is working." Marcus nodded slowly. "We're not them," he said quietly. "We don't kill innocents. We don't murder children." Park hesitated. "Sir, the Zalthari Council is sending constant messages. They're begging us to stop. They're offering complete surrender." "Not yet," Marcus said. His voice was hard. "They need to understand. They need to feel what we felt, helpless, afraid, watching their power burn." Across Zalthari space, the attacks continued. Weapons Factory Omega, destroyed. Shipyard Alpha, destroyed. Defense Station 9, destroyed. The Zalthari Empire had taken 10,000 years to build. The humans were taking it apart in 3 days. On the Zalthari homeworld, Commander Vexthor sat in his darkened office. He looked like he had aged 20 years. His hands shook as he tried to pour a drink. Zara entered. She looked defeated, broken. "Our fleet is gone," she said. 90% destroyed or captured. The rest are hiding in deep space. "We have nothing left, Vexthor, nothing." Vexthor stared at the wall. "How?" he whispered. "How did this happen? We are the mighty Zalthari. We ruled the stars for thousands of years. We made a mistake," Zara said. "We thought they were weak. They are weak." Vexthor shouted. "They have no claws, no armor. They should have died easily." Zara shook her head. "You still don't understand. Physical strength doesn't matter. The humans have something else. Something we never had." "What?" "They fight for each other," Zara said softly. "We fight for glory, for power, for ourselves. But humans, they fight for their families, their children, their future. That makes them stronger than any claws or armor ever could." Vexthor's communicator beeped. It was an emergency transmission from the Galactic Council. Ambassador Krell appeared on the screen. "Commander Vexthor, the Galactic Council demands you surrender immediately. Stop this war before more die. We want to surrender." Vexthor screamed. "The humans won't stop. They keep attacking. What do they want from us?" Krell's face was grim. "They want you to feel what New Hope felt. Fear, helplessness, loss." Another voice joined the transmission. "Elder Thon." "Commander Vexthor," the old alien said. "You started this war by killing innocents. You planned to enslave an entire species. Did you think there would be no price to pay?" "We were wrong," Vexthor cried. "We admit it." "What more do they want?" "Justice," Thon said simply. "And justice has a cost." The transmission ended. Vexthor collapsed in his chair. Outside his window, he could see Zalthari citizens watching the news. They looked afraid. They looked at him with hate. This was his fault. All of it. But then something changed. A new transmission came through. Not from the Galactic Council. From somewhere else. A location Vexthor recognized immediately. His blood ran cold. "No," he whispered. "Please, no." Zara looked at the transmission source. Her eyes went wide. That's the old arsenal. The forbidden one." Vexthor knew exactly what was there. A weapon left behind by the ancient Zalthari. A weapon so powerful, so dangerous they had locked it away and sworn never to use it. A weapon that could destroy planets. "Someone activated it," Vexthor said. His voice was hollow. "Someone's going to use it." On the screen, a familiar face appeared. Officer Kaleth, a survivor from New Hope attack. A true believer in Zalthari supremacy. Kaleth's face was twisted with hate. "Vexthor, you coward. You want to surrender? To these weak humans, never. I have activated the planet killer. It's targeting Earth. In 10 minutes, their homeworld will burn. Just like they burned ours." "Kaleth, no!" Vexthor shouted. "That weapon will kill billions. It will destroy everything." "Good," Kaleth hissed. "They deserve it. They all deserve it." The transmission cut off. Vexthor immediately contacted the human fleet. "Admiral Marcus, you must listen. One of our officers has activated an ancient weapon. It's targeting Earth. You have 10 minutes. On the Vengeance, alarms screamed. "Sir, we're detecting a massive energy spike near Zalthari Space Station Omega." An officer shouted. "Energy signature is..." Oh God, sir, it's a planet-killer weapon, charging, target locked on Earth. The bridge went silent. Commander Park's face went white. Sir, our families, everyone, Earth. Marcus's mind raced. 10 minutes. They were 3 hours away from Earth at maximum speed. They couldn't get there in time. Couldn't stop the weapon from firing, but they could destroy it at the source. How long until that weapon fires? Marcus asked. His voice was eerily calm. 9 minutes, 30 seconds, sir. How long to reach the weapon's location? 7 minutes at maximum emergency speed. But sir, we'd have to go through 3 Zalthari defense grids. We'd lose ships. Marcus looked at his bridge crew. These people had families on Earth too. Parents, children, lovers, friends. All ships. Marcus broadcast. Weapon detected targeting Earth. We have 9 minutes. We can reach it in 7 if we go full speed. But we'll have to fight through defenses. Some of us won't make it. He paused. Anyone who wants to stay behind, no judgment. You've all done enough. Not a single ship changed course. Every captain responded the same way. We're with you, Admiral. To the end. Marcus felt his throat tighten. Then let's save our home. All ships maximum speed. Weapons free. Don't stop for anything. The human fleet turned as one and raced toward the weapon. On Earth, emergency broadcasts went out. All citizens seek shelter immediately. Potential attack imminent. Sarah Marcus, the Admiral's daughter, was at university. She heard the alarm, saw the panic. She was a pilot trainee. She ran to the aerospace center. I need a ship, she told the commander there. All ships are grounded, he said. Safety protocol. Sarah looked him in the eye. My father is out there right now trying to save us. I'm a pilot. Let me help. The commander hesitated, then nodded. Bay 3, take the fastest interceptor we have. In space, the human fleet smashed through the first defense grid. They lost 8 ships. Kept going, second defense grid. 12 more ships gone. Kept going, third defense grid. The Zalthari threw everything at them. 20 ships destroyed, but the rest broke through. The weapon was ahead, massive, ancient, already glowing with deadly power. 4 minutes until it fires. The sensor officer said. Marcus could see it now. The weapon was protected by a shield. Defensive guns surrounded it. Sir, we can't break that shield in time, Commander Park said. We need at least 10 minutes to bring it down. Then we don't break it, Marcus said. We go through it. Everyone stared at him. 1 ship, Marcus explained. Maximum speed. Ram straight through the shield and into the weapon core. The explosion will destroy it. Silence on the bridge. That's a suicide mission, sir, Park said quietly. I know. Marcus stood. Prepare a shuttle. Sir, incoming transmission. The communications officer interrupted. It's from an interceptor. Earth registry. They're coming from Earth. On the screen appeared a young woman in a pilot's suit. Marcus's heart stopped. Sarah, he whispered. His daughter smiled at him. That same brave smile she'd had since she was little. Hi, Dad, I heard you needed help. Sarah, what are you doing here? You need to turn back. Can't do that, Dad. See, someone once told me that being brave means doing what's right even when you're scared. You told me that. Remember? Tears formed in Marcus's eyes. Sarah, no, please. I love you, Dad, Sarah said. Her voice was steady, calm. Tell Mom I love her too. And tell her I did what you taught me. I protected our family. Sarah, wait. But she had already cut the transmission. The small interceptor shot forward. Maximum speed, straight toward the weapon. Defensive guns fired at her. She dodged, rolled, her training showed. She was brilliant, beautiful, perfect. She punched through the shield. For 1 second, Sarah Marcus thought of her childhood. Her father teaching her to fly, her mother's hugs, Sunday breakfasts, homework, friends, all the small moments that made a life. Then she smiled and spoke her last words into the recorder. Tell my mom I saved everyone. The interceptor struck the weapon core. The explosion was massive. The weapon, the station, everything vaporized in an instant. Earth was saved. On the Vengeance Bridge, Admiral Marcus collapsed to his knees. Around him, officers wept openly. Commander Park put a hand on his shoulder. No words. What words could help? On Earth, billions cheered. They were saved. The weapon was destroyed. They didn't know yet what it had cost. The Zalthari Empire was finished. Their military was destroyed. Their people were broken, but humanity had paid a price too. Admiral Marcus stood slowly. His face was wet with tears, but his voice was steady when he spoke. "Ceasefire," he ordered. "All ships, ceasefire. Contact the Zolthari Council. Tell them we accept their surrender." "Sir?" Commander Park asked. "Enough," Marcus said quietly. "Enough death. Enough war. My daughter didn't die so we could become monsters. She died saving people. That's what humans do. We save people." He looked at his crew. "We won. But victory tastes like ash when you've lost everything that matters." Across the galaxy, the war ended. The Zalthari surrendered completely. Their empire fell, but everyone knew the truth. Nobody won this war, not really.